1 million Colombian pesos is what 2 nights in a 4-star hotel can cost here in Bogotá. Sounds like a lot, right? 1 million Colombian pesos. Actually, it's not that much. And in this video, you are going to find out. Welcome to Colombia, the country where every single ATM withdrawal will make you feel like a millionaire. But every single time that you stand in front of the cashier, you will get very confused. Unless you watch this video first, where we will explain from Colombian currency, the basics, how our bills work, to great local hacks that will be lifesavers in your trip to our beautiful country, Colombia. So stay until the end. Colombia's official currency is the Colombian peso, or COP for short. But I have to warn you about something. The zeros. So many zeros. In our country, you can see prices like 12,000 Colombian pesos for a cup of coffee, or 25,000 Colombian pesos for a taxi drive, or even 500,000 Colombian pesos for a hotel night. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, actually, it's not that much when you convert it. So today, year 2026, 1 Colombian peso, sorry, 1 USD will be around like between 3,700 Colombian pesos to 3,500 Colombian pesos. Why? Because the currency is going like this, not only in Colombia, but everywhere in the world. To make your life easier, in this video, we're going to use the rate of $1 equal 3,500 Colombian pesos. That will be much easier. So the best trick for you to convert our currency into US dollar will be basically to take the total amount, right, with the 1,000, with the zeros and everything, and drop down the last 3 zeros. Then the rest, you are going to divide it by 3.5. That will give you the equivalent, more or less, in US dollar. Meaning that 12,000 for a cup of coffee will be around 3.5 US dollars. Now, 25,000 for a taxi drive will be around $7. Not bad, right? And 500,000 for a hotel night will be around 142 US dollars. That's good, not as bad. Now, something important for you to know, and is the way we think our currency. So you in the US, you have the dollar and you have the cents. For us in Colombia, $1 will be the thousands, and the cents will be the hundreds. That is the way you have to think our money. One last tip before we finish. So if you are a little bit lazy with mental math, or you're not as good with mental math, there is actually a very easy way to convert without needing Wi-Fi. So basically, you just go to your calculator in your phone. It can be an iPhone or it can be an Android, and it has an option to convert. So you basically hit that option, and then you take, like you set the cup on one side and the other currency, it can be euro, US dollar, Canadian dollar on the other side. And you just have to type the amount in Colombian pesos, and it will immediately convert it into the currency that you need.
We are Juani and Aleja, local hosts here in Colombia and founders of
Zebra Fisgona Tours.
And in our channel, you're going to find insightful information to plan your trip to Bogotá and now Colombia.
We also offer more than 15 fun and private tours here in Bogotá, our city. And now as well, special excursions to hidden destinations of Colombia for you to have your dream trip to our country happen. So book 1, 2, 3, or all your tours with us. At Zebra Fisgona, we would love to show you around.
So where are you going to get your pesos? Well, there are 3 options you have to get Colombian pesos. Let me go one by one. The first one is as soon as you get into the country at the airport. On our last video that we made about Colombian currency, we actually gave you the advice to go at the airport and change some money so you could have some pesos with you available right away. And that was for you to be able to commute from the airport to your hotel. But this time, we're not advising that for two main reasons. We've noticed that the exchange rate at the airport is going bad. It's going low. It's terrible right now. And the second thing is that we've seen that some exchange houses at the airport are actually charging a commission fee for the exchange. This is not common in Colombia. We've only seen it in the airports, so that's a no-no for us. What we're advising you this time is actually set the apps before you arrive to Colombia. So make sure your card is in Uber or Cabify, so you can call the Uber or your taxi from the airport, go to your hotel, and then go for our second option. But before I get there, one recommendation, or the only way we advise to exchange dollars or euro at the airport, is only if you're not going to explore the cities where the airport is, and you're going to a more remote area like a town or a smaller city, way smaller city, then it is better for you to exchange some money there and have some pesos available for you. The second option, and this is going to be your best friends while in Colombia, is our casas de cambio or exchange houses. You're going to find them basically in most shopping malls or in main touristic sites like La Candelaria in Bogotá. The good thing is that when you have exchange houses, usually you have several near one the other, so you can compare the rates. And a few things you have to take into account if you are going to exchange house are these. Number one, make sure you bring high denomination bills, like 100 or 50 bills, because those you can negotiate to have a better rate. The second thing is that some exchange houses are going to require your passport to change the money. So make sure you bring your passport with you. The third one is that all the exchange houses tend to put stamps on the bills that they're going to give to you. So this is just a precaution they take in case one of the bills is fake and you go back to the house and you make, you say like, oh, this is a bad bill, you have to change it for me. Well, with that stamp, they can trace it back. And if in fact it's a bad bill, they'll give you another one. And four, very important, make sure you count the money before you leave with it. Now, the last option you have to get some pesos is actually heading to the ATM. Now, the exchange rate in the ATMs, because it's fluctuating so much right now, is not great. And the other thing that we've noticed is that the commission fee that the banks are charging to all of you, it's actually getting higher and higher. So we only recommend using the ATMs in case you are going to withdraw more than $200 or more. And if you have no other option, then the ATM is gonna be a solution for you.
Cash versus card, the eternal debate when we travel. Which one is the best to use in Colombia? The answer is both, or even it depends. In major cities like Bogotá, the capital city of Colombia, and the home of Zebra Fisgona Tours, you can pay easily almost everywhere with card. Now, when you move to smaller towns or smaller cities in Colombia, it gets harder to pay by card. That's why we always recommend for you to carry some Colombian pesos in your pockets. Now, what will be a good amount for you to carry? More or less the equivalent to 100 US dollars. That is a good amount to carry. So if we use the exchange rate of 3,500, that will mean 350,000 Colombian pesos will be a good amount to carry. So if you use your credit card here in Colombia, every single time that you pay, especially with big amounts, like for example, more than 100,000 Colombian pesos, the cashier will ask you, ¿a cuántas cuotas? If you hear that, or if you hear the word cuotas, what that basically means is if you want to divide the total amount that you are going to pay for small amounts per month. Of course, with the quotas, if you divide it, the bank is going to add a fee over there. That's very common in Colombia, and we know that is not very common in other countries. So when you hear the word quotas, just say or do this one, okay? Now, another important tip for you to know when you pay with card. In Colombia, every single time that you pay, the person has to take the machine to you, or you have to go to the cash with them. You will never hand your card to anybody. So that is very important for you to know. And before you put your card, always verify the amount that they are putting there. Last tip, and this one is with cash. Usually, when you are in our city or in our country and you want to get better deals for certain things, like for example, you go into a place that sells handcrafts, you can actually ask for a special discount if you pay with cash. That is a tip, is very good for you to know, but that only happens when you go to a small shop.
So guys, we came to have lunch at a place called El Corral. This serves delicious burgers. It's like the equivalent of a McDonald's, but in Colombian and with better quality, or at least we like it better with Aleja. So we're going to have some burgers for lunch, but FYI, the hot dogs here are also delicious. And while we wait for our food, let me introduce you to our Colombian bills. Woo! So we have here 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, and 100,000 pesos. These are all the ones that you are going to use while in Colombia. You can see this is something very interesting, that if you organize it like this and you put them together, then the bills with a higher denomination are gonna be bigger. So the bigger the bill, the higher the amount. And also, if you see these lines over here, you can see that the more amount of lines it has, the higher the amount of the bill. Now, another thing, and this is very important, is the two bills you have to be careful with are the 2,000 and the 100,000 bill, because these ones get confused often. So you don't want to mix them both. It's the same principle with the coins that we have here. I have 1,000, 500, 200, 100 pesos, and 50 pesos. Basically, these three are useless, but the ones you really have to take care of are the 1,000 and 500 pesos. Those are the ones you are going to use more. Now, for our lunch, we're having burgers with fries and drinks. All of that together for the two of us was 94,000 pesos, which roughly is 26 US dollars. That's how much a meal costs in a place like this. And after our lunch, we're going to go down to the supermarket and show you what you can buy with each one of these bills. So let's head to it.
As promised, we are going to shop in the supermarket to show you what you can buy with each bill. Starting with our 2,000 Colombian pesos. And with this one, you can actually buy a package of holes. 5,000 Colombian pesos, 600 milliliters of Diet Coke, 10,000 Colombian pesos for a nice package of white bread of sandwiches. You can see 29 slides equal a little bit more than 10 sandwiches. Whoop. 20,000 Colombian pesos, a six-pack of national beer, and this one is for me. 50,000 Colombian pesos, a bag of 340 grams of a very special and nice Colombian coffee. Whee! 100,000 Colombian pesos, a bottle of tequila. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. For tonight.
And really quickly, one last thing before we finish this video. This is a very important recommendation, and it's that locals don't accept payments in cash with euro, dollars, or basically any other currency. And if they do, they would accept only euro and US dollars. But if they do accept the payment with cash in those currencies, don't expect any change and don't expect to have a great rate. That's why we always advise for you to carry Colombian pesos in your pockets. When do Colombians accept euro or US dollars? Well, when you're tipping them. They will receive them gladly because a lot of Colombians choose to save money in either one of these currencies. So you can tip them that way. That's everything you need to know about Colombian currency before you land in our country.
And we really hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe, hit that bell so you can actually see when we put another video on the web. And remember that if you're coming to Bogotá, our beautiful city, we would love to show you around at Zebra Fisgona Tours. Or even if you want to discover hidden destinations of Colombia, like the Pacific coast or the floodlands for the safaris, we would love to show you around. We would love to have you. So until the next one, guys.
See you.
Bye bye.